The Supreme Court of India today has called out the sham that Delhi's anti-pollution plan is. It has come down heavily on the Central Air Quality Panel for not taking adequate steps to control pollution levels in the national capital region. The court said, getting angry, that the same thing happens every year. They asked, is pollution coming down? To which the CAQM chairperson informed the court that it meets once every 3 months. Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine anything more bureaucratic than that? That we have meetings once in 3 months. Rebuking the Commission for Air Quality Management, the top court of India said, and I quote, there has been total non-compliance of the CAQM Act. Not just that, the Supreme Court also said that it's not just pollution, even rules are up in the air, and that the panel cannot act like a silent spectator and be completely oblivious of the fact that we are nearing an emergency. We are nearing an emergency, ladies and gentlemen, because there are already reports emanating that stubble burning has started in the states of Punjab and Haryana. The top court has now directed the Commission to ensure that equipment provided to farmers from the money given by the central government is used at the grassroots level to remove stubble. A quick chat with my guest this evening, Advocate Anu Lall is spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, joining us on the broadcast. Neoma Gupta is spokesperson of the Delhi BJP. Anu Lall is a citizen activist joining us on the broadcast as well. Anu Lall, good evening. Good evening to all of you. Anu Lall, are you at all surprised? The Supreme Court is getting angry. The Supreme Court is saying, bhai, stubble burning shuru ho gayi hai. Aap kya kar rahe ho? And the central panel that was formed 3 years ago to look into the NCR's pollution and try and curb it is saying, bhai, hum to once in 3 months we meet.
Thanks for having me here, Shreya. First of all, I mean, citizens like me are not experts. But the question that I always ask governments is that do we even know the reason for Delhi smog? You know, where are the experts? Yeah, as the Supreme Court said, sab hawa mein teer chala rahe. You know, we were told a few years ago that the culprit is Diwali, and a whole generation of kids were brainwashed into not burning crackers, lighting, you know, making those green posters. Last year, it turned out that Delhi was engulfed in smog 20 days before Diwali. Now, crackers are not the culprit then. Then the focus in the last few years has shifted to Parali. Okay, NGOs after NGOs went after Parali. Parali is burnt all over India, but it's a problem just in Delhi. Now, central government released some 3,000 crore rupees of taxpayers' money, your and mine taxpayers' money, for effective management of crop residue in North India. Later, we saw some studies that Punjab has shifted to some Monsanto maize, which is the real culprit. Okay, if that's the real culprit, then go after that. 3 years ago, Delhi spent huge crores on smog towers, you know, these tall filters that are supposed to clean up the air. Fancy speeches are made, inauguration ceremonies are done, and later we are told only one smog tower is working because the salaries of the smog tower employees are not paid. Okay, salaries were paid, it was restarted. Later, it turned out that smog to culprit, you know, smog towers are not even effective. It's like the myth of the smog towers. Then why did we spend so much of money on it? I mean, is there any study done before taxpayers' money is literally burnt down like Parali is burnt? So my question, I mean, it's not surprising, but my question to administration and governments is, where are the experts? Does anyone even know the real reason? And the Supreme Court is right. Everything is, even if it is known, is in the air. Hawa mein teer chala rahe hain. Every year they launch a new shosha without any result. I mean, zero result orientation, zero accountability, and zero planning. Like, are we even aware that Delhi is going to become a gas chamber in a month or so? I mean, this year Diwali is coming earlier this year. So it's a very convenient excuse for lack of action, zero planning and zero action on the ground. Okay, Diwali is causing the smog. So we will go back.
Okay.
I mean, the situation is alarming indeed.
Okay. This situation is alarming, but the situation never changes. The situation has been alarming for the last 10 years. For the last 10 years, we have had multiple debates, especially as we near end of October, early November. कुछ नहीं होता. Neoma Gupta, spokesperson for the Delhi BJP, 3 years ago, this central panel is constituted as a statutory body in the hope कि ये कुछ करेंगे. Because you always put the blame on the Aam Aadmi Party government and said these people are only experts at double speak. काम ये लोग कुछ करेंगे नहीं, पंजाब को बोलेंगे नहीं stubble burning बंद करने को. So a central panel is formed to look at the NCR's air quality. It seems the central panel itself is not interested in doing anything. I'm not saying it, the Supreme Court is saying it. They are calling them mute spectators.
Hi, Shreya. So, see, as far as the CAQM is concerned, their role with respect to pollution, I'm sure the agency will have to step up and become stricter with respect to acting against a violation of pollution norms. It is actually essential and non-negotiable given the winter season is about to start and bring in haze. However, the main issue here remains the same, that no amount of Waterbury can change the fact that the main issue the court brought up was that of stubble burning, which is Parali, as the previous environmentalist and expert just mentioned, that every time the root cause is changed. However, over here, if you allow me a minute, we've seen extensive data, and this is not an assumption-based debate, this is a factual-based debate, that Parali is the main issue. So if we know that that is one of the root causes of it, might not be the solo cause of it, what are we doing about it now in terms of, so the question comes, how do you tackle it? According to the CAQM, this year, Punjab will see something like a 19.52 million tons of paddy so residue, which after harvesting will have to have 1.5 lakh crop residue management machines. So has the Delhi government spoken with the Punjab government to ensure this is done? If so, what came out of the discussion?
Neoma ji.
Now we have, sorry, I'm not done. Now
Neoma ji, can I just interrupt you here, Neoma ji?
Yeah, just call
Neoma
me
ji, can I just interrupt you here? And can I just inform our viewers, just a minute, why was the CAQM formed? The CAQM was formed 3 years ago because the criticism was that no one knows who's responsible and accountable for the NCR's pollution levels going up to an extent where people start dying. ठीक है? So a decision was taken that all the bodies that look at Delhi's air and the NCR's air and the air of adjoining areas, all these bodies will be amalgamated into one body. That was the center's plan. It was a good plan. That you're cutting out multiple agencies, you're putting one agency accountable. The fact is that one agency that is accountable, according to the Supreme Court, is just a mute spectator and is doing nothing. So the failure is not just of this air quality control panel, it is also of the central government to who it reports to say, bhai, tum kaam kya kar rahe ho? Why should the Supreme Court have to tell the panel, tum kuch kaam nahi kar rahe ho?
No,
what
see,
is the central government doing? Even they are sleeping on the job, Neoma ji.
No, so the central government has done a lot for pollution in Delhi. Delhi was given like some 38.22 crores in NCAP funds from a period of time. Out of it, 10 crores were utilized. I need to know why. Apart from this, there is GRAP, build road highways such as the Dwarka Expressway, enacted the FAME scheme, given EV permit exemptions, ensured strict emission standards for thermal power standards, heavily promoted solar energy. Now, when it comes to compliances, and there is a discrepancy of some instructions not being followed, it has to be followed soon. There's no question when it comes to Delhi.
There is no discrepancy. The court is saying you're not doing your job.
No. The court is saying
Advocate Panwar, would you want to come in here? Your spokesperson. ठीक है, Neoma. Advocate Panwar, would you want to come in here? Your spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, ultimately center karte rahe, but when pollution levels hit record highs once again this year, the blame will come on the Aam Aadmi Party. You cannot say the central panel was not doing any work.
Good evening, Shreya.
Because the people of Delhi have chosen you to clean up their air.
See, firstly, this pollution is a widespread concern across North India, and it is not just confined to Delhi. And addressing this issue requires a unified multi-state approach, and collaborative measures are the only way forward to seek a cleaner and healthier future. Secondly, this CAQM, Commission for Air Quality and Management, it's a statutory body, as you said, and it was established in 2021 on the directions of the Honorable Supreme Court in place of Environmental Pollution Prevention and
Correct.
Control Authority. And the central government has overarching control over this body. But it seems that it has become redundant and ineffective. And as far as Punjab is concerned, there are questions raised about what has Punjab government done. Let me bring out the facts. The Punjab Pollution Control Board, on the directions of National Green Tribunal, has submitted a detailed action plan for the next 3 months as to how they'll control stubble burning. The state recorded a significant reduction in stubble burning, around 29.78%. In 2020, there were more than 80,000 cases, which has now reduced to around 40,000 cases in last 3 years. And it is the Institute of Agriculture which has said that Punjab has recorded stubble burning to the lowest in the last 3 years. And if we, the present plan of action of the Punjab government is, they have distributed around 21,000 machines, free subsidized crop residue machines to the farmers, and a total of 1,59,066 machines over the last 3 years. The officers have been deployed, 5,000 nodal officers, to ensure that no stubble
Advocate
burning
Panwar,
takes place in...
if all of this has been done, why is stubble burning being reported from Punjab as we speak?
Now,
I don't have to tell you that newspapers are carrying reports every day of stubble burning in Punjab. Why is it happening then?
I'll show you the reality. In 2021, the Honorable Supreme Court 3-judge bench, led by then Chief Justice, Justice S.V. Ramanna, Justice Suryakant, and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, present Chief Justice, they said that farmer bashing has become a fashion. The hue and cry which has been made by the central government is baseless and unscientific, because this is the affidavit which was submitted by the central government, which says that stubble burning contributes to less than 10%. It contributes only to 4%. And this is the affidavit, para 13 of the affidavit filed by the central government by none other than Solicitor General Tushar Mehta. And let me tell you the remarks which were made. CJI made a remark that I am a farmer. The CJI is, this is Justice Suryakant, I'm sorry. I am a farmer. The CJI is also from a farmer family. We know it. Then it's of bashing farmer and stubble burning is not the solution.
तो मतलब आप कह क्या रहे हैं?
As far as
आप
Delhi
कह
is
क्या रहे
concerned,
हैं? So essentially,
as far as Delhi is concerned,
essentially, I know the plan you have for Delhi. You are saying after Diwali, we will induce artificial rains. I understand that that is a plan. But Anu Lall, I'm going to give you the last 20 seconds on this debate. We've heard both sides. हर बार की तरह 1 minute. हाँ बोलिए. Advocate Panwar, only 10 seconds, no more than that.
As far as Delhi government is concerned, we have reduced the pollution by 34%. The public transport system has seen a 50% increase in buses, and 80% of which current fleet is being electric. And with a progressive EV policy, 20% of the vehicles flying on road are electric. And we give a stable 24/7 electricity supply.
You know, I'll just say this.
That is why the people have...
Advocate Panwar, you got lucky with the rains.
People don't have to rely on generator sets, which has
Delhi
reduced
has
the pollution.
gotten lucky with the rains. Because of rains in September, our pollution levels have been down. But we'll see. We are entering choke season, so we'll see. The proof is in the pudding. But Anu Lall, as a citizen who is hearing the two rival political parties who have stakes in Delhi's air put the blame on each other, are you hitting your head and getting a sense of deja vu? हर साल यही होता है. आम आदमी पार्टी बोलता है इन्होंने नहीं किया, ये बोलते हैं इन्होंने नहीं किया, और होता कभी भी कुछ नहीं है. काम अपना कोई नहीं करता.
Which brings me back to the original point that do we even know the reason for Delhi smog? After telling us everything, why stubble burning has been stopped, ultimately the conclusion is that it is not the cause of Delhi smog. Then why are we not investigating what is the real cause and then go after it? यहाँ पराली तो जल ही रही है, साथ में taxpayers money भी पराली की तरह ही जल रहा है. Because we don't know the reason why this is happening.
Anu Lall, we'll leave it there. So different reports will give you different reasons. That is the confusing part of the entire situation. But I'm fairly certain we'll all have this discussion once away as the end of October nears. So Neoma Gupta, see you then. Thank you very much for joining us. Advocate Panwar, I'm
Thank
sure
you,
you'll have a
Shreya,
lot
for
to say
not
then
letting
as
me
well.
speak.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
अरे भाई सबसे पहले तो आपसे शुरू किया था. What is this? And Anu Lall, thank you very much for joining us as well.